This is going to be part 2 of a year in review on expat Philippine vloggers for 2025. So let's get into it. We've got a lot to cover. Got some exciting stuff here to show you today, and I think you'll enjoy it. Here we go. This next channel continues to grow. It's getting a wider and wider audience, and even though it's only like about 2 years old or so, and it's called Fly Me to the Philippines. And they've had a very busy year, and I think one of the most significant things that they did is they actually wrote a book about how an expat is to travel and figure things out in the Philippines. And it's actually really extensive. It's being successfully sold on Amazon. It's #1 in its space right now as far as like travel to the Philippines or anything in that kind of category. And the name of the book, which I actually bought when it came out last spring, is called A Modern Man's Guide to Living, Traveling, and Finding Love in the Philippines. And, you know, I really thought the book is very comprehensive. It's in tremendous detail. And it covers things like how to transact with money, how to send from the U.S., say, into the Philippines, and how to handle the transfer, the banking. It gives you ideas of different places to live, what to look for. It talks about dating. It's very comprehensive and very well done. It's much more than I expected, quite detailed, actually. And so if you haven't seen this book yet, again, it's available on Amazon. It's $19.95 for the softbound version. There's a hardback. I think the hardback's $10 more, and then more like a novel is the $19.95. It's worth getting the book, right? The other thing they've been up to, they've been building a mountain home about 45 minutes outside of Cagayan de Oro in Mindanao, where they live, up in the mountains, and so they've been giving updates about building this house clear up in the mountains. Now, another popular channel who has been doing this YouTube thing for a full 13 years now, is one of the originals here for the Philippines, is Ricky Life Beyond the Sea. And he is one of the very, very original expat vloggers. And Ricky recently mentioned that there's a lot more competition to get views on the expat channel space. And with so many new channels that keep coming online, and tourism is down a bit in 2025 versus 2024 in the Philippines. And the combination of the two is making it harder for each individual video to get views. I think Ricky talks very straight to us. He just kind of tells it as it is. He talks about life in the Philippines. He talks about dating. He really is more like the sage giving advice and how to make good choices here based upon what he's learned. And I find it interesting that 13 years later, after he started this, people like me are still watching his channel. I've been watching Ricky's channel, along with some of the other ones, since 2018. I think I saw Gio when he started, and I used to watch Old Dog Paul. And then, back in 2018, there weren't that many channels. And so another one that was really popular at the time is a foreigner in the Philippines. Other channels have significantly passed by it because a lot of his content is just turn on the camera and whatever's going on that day. It's not quite as organized at times. And some people like that style and others don't. So it kind of depends. But he's still one of the original vloggers. There was only really a handful of guys back in 2018 that were doing it. Rike also resides just like me in the Bahal area. I think he's been here the last either 2 or 3 years since he got married.
Well, it's another beautiful day, which have been kind of rare with all these storms we've been having for, it seems like 6 months. But it's nice to see blue skies, puffy clouds, about 84 degrees. I have mixed feelings over the way things have changed with regard to a couple things, quite a few metrics. There's obviously been a big change in everything in the world since 2012, 13 years ago. And many of those changes have occurred as far as reasons why people choose to come to the Philippines. And in the beginning, it was like it always had been. It was guys that were looking to retire, enjoy the tropical life, and I'm talking like 1970s all the way up to 2012. Guys just looking for a nice, easy, tranquil, tropical retirement. The women were an added cherry on top. That was nice. But, prior to the internet, and I don't know how many of you, remember that, but there were no smartphones. There was no internet. You came here with traveler's checks or credit cards or cash. I mean, there was ATMs later on, but it was a whole different experience. And then when I arrived in 2012, obviously there were ATM machines. There was internet, but even I didn't have a smartphone at the time. I had a BlackBerry. And ever since then, of course, internet got more sophisticated. Pretty soon you could transmit voice, then you could transmit video, low quality video. But then pretty soon it was high def quality video, and Filipinas now had a smartphone in their hand that they owned. And then for a while there, the data plans were expensive. So it was mostly the Filipinas, even if they had a smartphone, they often had a foreigner who was paying for the data plan. And now the data plans are pretty affordable. It's about less than about $12 for the month to get like 10 gigabyte plan. And so now it's become to a point where not only do you have increased communication, you've got dating sites which have evolved into a complete cottage industry of their own, where many, in fact, I would say most of the people on the dating sites, many of the Filipinas, they're not in it looking for a relationship. In fact, when they find out the guy's actually going to fly over here, they drop communication. They don't want to meet these guys. A Filipina could be married and she's not on the dating sites because she's looking for a long-term relationship. She's just looking to build some rapport, to be the bright spot in the life of some guy who's trapped back in the United States with a job he doesn't like or a marriage he's unhappy with. And she has realized that she has something of value to barter with. And so her goal on the dating site is to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys on the line and make them all feel special. And then every once in a while mention, oh, gee, I don't know how I'm going to pay my boarding house. I can't buy rice. And all these things, which may or may not be true. There's no way the guy back there is going to know. But if she's got multiple guys sending her money, well, you can see how this really could become extremely lucrative.
About to begin 2025, we did see the loss of Mark Thornton from Every Man Has a Story channel. And it's really sad that he passed away within 24 hours from a massive stroke. The interesting thing to me is that I did an interview with Mark just a few months before his death, and we got along well. I found him very straightforward. He was a huge guy. He was at least 6'4", 6'5", really tall guy. Said what he thought, but was pretty sincere about it. Now, after he passed, Jen did her best to try to maintain the channel because that was their income coming in, right? And Jen's probably at this point in her mid to late 20s. And so in early 2025, she tried to keep the channel going. And, Mark was the personality. When Mark and I met, in fact, we met in Dumaguete. where a lot of people like to shoot their videos. When I was there, I saw Filipina P on one side shooting a video. Gio and I shot a video together there. And then a day later, I met Mark Thornton there. So the Henry seems to be the quiet place. It's Dumagetti's pretty noisy, and it's kind of near the main boulevard. And Jen was there, and she was very sweet, but very quiet. And Mark was kind of the powerful personality. Anyway, what happened was, this is really sad, but a lot of the viewers gave some very discouraging comments to her, even though she had lost her husband. And this is direct from like subscribers. And it just really affected her that she decided to turn off the channel for the time being, even though that was the income. And, you know, at that point, she's got a 1-year-old. She's got to figure out how to survive. Her life just changed. And Mark had a plan, and he had a separate credit card for when this type of thing happened, or debit card, or however. He had funds set aside, a folder set up for this in case this ever happened. And it's a good thing he was prepared, but now she's on her own.
And I think that this is, you know, what's best for me, best for myself. So that's why I decided to quit do anything in YouTube, both channel, because it's stressing me. So my surroundings, what's going on in my surroundings, it's not good for my health, not good for myself. So that's why I don't want to do anything in YouTube. Also, people knows both of my email address. So it's easy for them to attack me and talk shit about me, my family. People is makes video about me and my family, my baby. I can't really handle that. So, and that's why I decided to not to do anything in YouTube anymore.
Now, here's where the criticism comes in. And, you know, it depends how you want to slice this apple. But Mark was nearing somewhere 68 to 70 at that point, maybe 69, when he became a father. But, you know, he wasn't for it in the beginning. Jen is the one that convinced him that she wanted to have some remembrance of him and his legacy and wanted to have that baby, even knowing he was advanced in years and that he could pass. They had no idea he was going to pass that quickly. But some people just think it's a crazy idea that a 70-year-old should have a baby, because the chances of him being there at 20 years old when he's 90 are not great, right? If you look at average life expectancy and that type of thing. And unfortunately, several viewers did not hold back from telling Jen what a mistake she made and she shouldn't have talked him into it and it's her fault. And really sad, because, you know, here she is in her mid to late 20s, and now she's got to figure out a way to make an income. She's got bills to pay. She's got a 1-year-old that's got to be taken care of. So her life just dramatically shifted. Well, here's the good news. In the last few months, she has decided to reopen Every Man Has a Story channel. And she's doing her best to give us an update of her and the baby Rogan, who's a toddler now. And they've moved to a new place and kind of what's going on. And she's been active trying to interview with some people and get some content out there. And again, she was always the one behind the scenes. This was not her primary thing. And when Mark and I did the interview for his channel for me, he had this old cell phone that he just put on like a little cell phone stand. The cell phone was cracked, you know, and I remember actually watching the footage later, and kind of the focus would like zoom in and out, you know. But he told me, hey, if it works, I don't want to spend any money on a camera, you know, make this thing work as long as I can. So he wasn't fancy with the technical part, but he's the one that did everything. So she had to kind of, you know, figure out how to do this, and I know they have friends that can help along the way. Anyway, she's trying to figure out how to best move forward. She's decided to reactivate the channel. I would just ask, let's be supportive of her, right? It's been a year now since she's lost her husband, and she's trying to figure out her future, and let's give her a leg up. And there were quite a few expats that actually donated some funds to kind of help her get through part of the year, and some for the baby too. So thank you for those people that did that. But let's have a good heart about this and help her out for the future, all right? And then this past year, we saw one of the fastest growing expat channels that in a 2-year time period, out of the BGC area, actually had 88,000 subscribers. Now the channel's down now, so I can't tell you how many millions of views, but I think it was significant. And that was called Brian the Lion. And Brian's in his mid-40s, and he came from the US, and he would walk around BGC, and he would just kind of give his narration, his perspective on the difference between the West and the Philippines, and he really liked BGC. Well, for some reason, which I researched to find out details, YouTube turned off the channel. YouTube stated that he had been accused of something called circumvention, which just a fancy term meaning you're taking the traffic that's supposed to be on YouTube and somehow diverting it to someplace else. That diversion could be to another website or some link somewhere, and the main thought is that the traffic is going away from YouTube, which is not what YouTube wants, and so they turned off the channel. Now, being such an abrupt switch, there's been some talk, I don't know what's true, but some are saying it's possible that Brian had some other issues previously with YouTube, so when he appealed this, when it happened to him, they immediately rejected his appeal, and that may have contributed to his channel being banned, according to several sources that I looked up. But from what I understand, he's still very active on social media channels. He's still making some videos and posting there. So it's kind of scary to spend 2 years of your life building that type of a business just to have it turned off. Okay, moving on to the next one. Another popular vlogger that's been around the Philippines for quite some time is Tim K. But his channel has completely disappeared. And I'm not sure exactly why, other than I figured out that they did move back to the States. I know first his wife Chrissy moved to go to college, and he stayed here. I think they were in Samar, or one of those areas, Samar Leyte. And he stayed for a while, but they ended up going back to the US, and his channel's gone. And he was for several years like in the top 10 of vloggers for expats in the Philippines. So I can't find him right now. Now, his wife Chrissy does have a YouTube channel, and she last posted probably about 4 months ago. And her channel is called Chrissy K. And she actually says that, she's married to Tim K and has a family and all that. So she's still posting there. But again, the last video was about 4 months ago. So that's been a big change. And then another channel that's been growing substantially this last year, which I find very entertaining, is called It's Me. It's just, they're funny. They have a sense of humor that kind of comes across. So I find this couple very entertaining. They're really enjoyable to watch. The channel is based somewhere outside of the Dumaguete area. They often go from more of the province area outside of Dumaguete, and they come to Dumaguete to get supplies, and they'll film that. But let me show you a recent clip, because if you haven't watched these guys, you should take a look. I think you'll enjoy it. Here we go.
How's your day going, buddy? You are getting fatter and fatter. Look at this. Good afternoon, everyone. It is me again. If you're new to the channel, my name is Corey. My wife's name is Raquel. We live in the Philippines. We love it here in the Philippines. Everything is good. Just want to say thank you to all the recent subscribers and everyone that left a comment. Last couple of videos did really well, so I got quite a few new subscribers. So just want to say thank you to everyone. And honestly, even the people that left a negative comment, I want to say thank you to you guys too. And I sincerely mean that. I don't want to sound like I'm being sarcastic when I say it, but when people leave a comment and hit the like button, it boosts the algorithm. It boosts the engagement on YouTube. And what they do is they keep bringing the circle bigger and bigger. So they start showing it to new and newer audience. So that's how the channel grows, is from engagement. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for leaving a comment and hitting the like button, things like that. And again, even for the haters that leave a negative comment, YouTube doesn't read them. The comments are listed as comments. So they just keep showing it to more and more people, and that's how the channel grows. So the negative comments don't bother me. I just smile and go back to enjoy my day. I live in the Philippines, so I can't complain.
Of course, we can't forget old dog Paul, who's, again, one of the original vloggers. Paul's now 70 years old, and one of the very, very first, along with the timing of Rike, and then Gio was after them, as the original expat vloggers, all from the Dumaguete area. I know Gio and Rike are very good friends. And Paul is still making videos after all of these years. He has been up in the Valencia area, which is about 20 minutes above Dumaguete on Negros Island. And he is married to Baby May. They have about a 30-year age gap between the two of them. And she also has her own channel. Here's a recent clip I thought was interesting from Paul. He gets an update from JR of JR Consultancy on his property title. It's been a problem. He bought this property a year and a half ago from a friend of his who was dying from cancer. The guy actually sold it to Paul at what he paid for. So Paul got a good deal on the property, but it hasn't moved forward. It's been stuck because of the attorney that Paul had hired, and it was the guy that was recommended to him. Paul makes a really interesting comment about the attorneys here as far as real estate go. They are really known to be representing the sellers and not the buyers. So if you're buying a property and you hire an attorney to handle it, just make sure that they're capable of doing that and they have other transactions that they've done that they can prove. Let's take a look at this video because something kind of surprising happens for Paul during the video. I thought you'd appreciate this. Here we go.
What I primarily want to focus on in this video is the real estate concerns and how to know that before you purchase a property, the steps that you need to take, what you should look out for, what your company can do for them. And I'm going to be more than happy to confess all the mistakes that I've made. I've confessed them before.
There are a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I've done them all. And plus a couple extras I made up.
Oh.
So, I just injected them in for fun. So we're going to go over that. And I'm going to try to find out the status of my title to my property and see where we stand with that.
Yeah. So before we start, Paul, I got something for you.
Okay.
You see this?
Yeah, I saw that when you came in. I saw it right.
Let me give you your title.
Oh my God. You know what? He didn't tell me about this. Look and check this out. Let me look at it first before you look.
Yeah.
Make sure my name's spelled right.
Yeah.
Mary Jane Espargara McGill, of legal age, Filipino, married to Paul Douglas McGill, American citizen. Transfer certificate of title. This is like the pink slip to a car right here. This is the one thing that claims that my wife has full ownership of the property.
Yes.
That there's nothing in the way of her moving forward.
Congratulations.
God bless you, man. You are a rock star.
Thank you.
Let's, forget the visa crap. Let's talk about this, okay? You guys did watch the Filipina P. He was on there a couple of months ago. She'll tell you all about the visas. Let's get into my thing. All right. So that is super exciting.
How do you feel now?
Oh, I feel like a 500-pound elephant just got lifted off my shoulders because, there's never been so much, when I came over here to retire and to relax and to have a good time.
Sure.
And to get away from stress and get away from, all the bad mojo that was going on in my life prior. And I did that successfully until I stepped up to buy real estate. And I came at it with the best of intentions, which was that with the age gap between my wife and I being 30 years, it's obvious that they're going to plant me in the ground before they do her. And so when I leave this planet, what will she be left with? Well, I can leave her with what's remaining in my savings, and that's a finite amount of money. Or I can try to leave a legacy for her, where I can buy some land and we can put a small dwelling on there, a simple dwelling, and it would be something that I know that as long as a human being, any human being, has shelter, food, and safety.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's the three components to meeting the basics.
Another interesting channel that I came across recently, which is totally different than all the others, it's called Kuya Kurt. And Kurt travels around the Philippines, and he's a foodie, right? And he's searching for various cuisine. And he meets with restaurant owners, and he goes to different regional areas. I guess Papanga in particular is known for some of Spanish delicacies. And so he goes around and he goes to restaurants and he meets with the owners and he finds out about their dishes and kind of regionally how food varies throughout the Philippines. And it's quite interesting to watch to kind of get a little more background on the type of food that's available in the Philippines. I thought it was interesting. It's something new I kind of came across, but he's got a large following. Here's a recent clip so you can see what I mean.
What's up, guys? My name is Kuya Kurt. I like to travel around to different parts of the Philippines, finding the hidden gems of Filipino cuisine. And today we are at the epitome of Filipino cuisine, Balay Dutong, here in Angeles, Pampanga, the culinary capital of the Philippines. So guys, pasok tayo. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a Philippine-inspired 9-course meal. I believe tama yung bilang ko dyan, 9-course. So guys, pasok tayo. Tignan natin kung ano ang nasa menu ngayon para sa amin. Tignan natin kung masarap, kung sulit. Tara na. Apo!
Uy, tao!
Oh, magandang umaga po!
Tuloy, kuya.
Kamusta?
Kuya.
Guys,
Ah.
may special guest tayo, yung mayari mismo ng Balay Dutong.
Balay Dutong.
Si Cloud. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Kuya, bahay nyo ito, pati resto nyo.
Bahay turn restaurant yan.
Ang ganda. Pwedeng itour nyo ako.
Oh, sure,
Sige.
of course.
Sige, mauna kayo.
Yes,
Sasunduin kita.
mauna ako. So,
wow.
the first thing that I tell, like you, a first-time visitor, that this house was built from scratch and from scrap. I have to exaggerate the words. So the thing is, a lot of first-time visitors think this is an ancestral house. Kaya yung mga architectural details, yan, mga antique yan.
Yeah.
I just put it together. And I designed it in the tropical manner. And that extends to the food that I've been serving here. Lahat
Local na local.
At pati yung panlasa, Pinoy.
So kadalasan, tatay, ano yung ginagawa nyo kada araw? Ano yung bang...
Yung kada araw, so I write books.
Okay.
I do my art. I've just exhibited that one. And I just came from the Frankfurt International Book Fair.
Yes.
So, promoting this book.
Pwedeng i-shoutout natin yung book?
Sure. Tapos bigyan kita ng kopya mamaya.
Galing.
Yeah.
So ang tawag is The Ultimate Filipino Adobo
Book.
by Cloud
Yes.
Tayag.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tapos gusto ko din malaman mo to kung maintindihan mo siya.
Adobong may toyo, parang ikaw.
Type kita, sabi ko, lahat kita. Adobong may toyo.
And one of my very favorite channels on all of the internet, whether it's on expats or not, continues to get attention. That's called the Leah and Blair Slog. It's another form of a vlog. A slog just means slower. And it's an incredible thing that they do. This is their passion. And it's a purpose-driven channel. And it's great to watch. And what they basically do is they go out and they find lost loved ones in the Philippines and reconnect them with parents. Someone, that they've lost contact with, or in many cases, maybe have never met or even known that there was an additional family member like a father. Let's take a look at this clip and you'll see what I mean.
I'm glad to tell you today, Marianne, you're about to meet your long-lost father.
Are you kidding me?
Today.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me, Mr. Blair? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Really? Really? Oh my God.
You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. I'm about to meet someone, and I'm going to change their life, and they are going to change my life.
From where are you, sir? From?
Australia.
Ah, Australia.
But
Good day, mate.
G'day, mate. How's it going? G'day.
Tie the kangaroo down.
What's your name, ma'am?
Mary Ann.
And this is how I met Marianne in a market in the
I will be
Philippines.
the happiest. If that happens, it's my greatest dream to meet him in the airport and hug him and say thank you to him, for this life that he's given me. My greatest dream since I was a kid, aside from finding him, I want to see him in person, really. That's my greatest dream.
Marianne Castigliodi has been longing to find her long-lost father. In this story, you will meet Frank as he prepares to come to the Philippines.
This is the key to find your father, to confirm.
To finally meet his daughter that he fathered 52 years ago. Frank was once stationed in the Philippines. Marianne had grown up believing her father's name was Gemelli.
Devastating.
But just to recap this story, we didn't give up. Through a cousin match on the DNA results, we had finally found Marianne's father. And this old former airman was totally thrilled he had found a daughter. Love, Dad. It was so sad he never got to see his daughter growing up. Marianne started a Go Get Funding page to try and bring her father to the Philippines.
Yes, I'm hoping and I'm praying that will happen, you know.
With the help of myself and Leah May, we mentioned this on Marianne's video, hoping to raise $2,500 before Christmas. But our viewers and subscribers had other ideas. They helped raise the funds in just 6 hours. Marianne believes her long-lost father will visit the Philippines in January 2026. But incredibly, Frank received his new passport on the same day of our fundraising target. Brian Lucas helped Frank to book the flights, and Brian is also coming. The three amigos are here, ready to pick up Frank.
I'm going to turn 74 on the 4th of November.
4th of November,
so,
wow,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So right before I fly. So I'll be there for her birthday.
Yes.
Oh, wow. This just keeps getting better.
We had organized a meet and greet to surprise Marianne. She was going to be flying up from Cebu, believing she would be singing on stage. And there, we would reunite her with her long-lost father, Frank. Frank, we have around 2 hours to go. Myself and Leah May are about to head to Clark Airport, once where you were based 50 odd years ago. So it's quite uncanny really that we're going back to pick Marianne up from the airport, the air base where you were based.
Right where I left her.
Exactly. So we have 2 hours. Myself and Leah May are about to head off. I would just like to say for myself personally, Frank, that throughout all of this journey, meeting your daughter Marianne nearly 3 years ago in Cebu, in Naga City, she was the one that set myself and Leah May off on this journey of reuniting long lost loved ones. So if it hadn't been for Marianne, none of this would have happened. So all of our previous stories all come from your daughter Marianne.
I'm chilled.
A lot of fathers, as you already know by now, have shunned us in the past, blocked us, don't want to know. And remember, guys, this is their flesh and blood. But not even like, I will send a letter. They just simply block. But Frank, ever since you said to me, Frank, that you saw a picture of Marianne, you didn't need a DNA test.
Absolutely.
And when you wrote that message to Marianne saying, I am in fact your father, Marianne, I've taken a DNA, but I didn't need to take a DNA, but Leah and Blair wanted to just take one just in case. You said, love, Dad.
Yeah. That came from my heart. As soon as I saw Marianne, I knew that she was my daughter and I was going to accept her. And I was in such shock and turmoil at the time because although I thought that Mr. Gemelli was the father of her mother's baby, then I find out that no, that is my baby. I had such conflicted feelings and I felt guilt that I've left a child behind and such joy at the same time that I found my child, and I wanted to comfort her. I saw so much pain in the first video that you did when her DNA test was negative.
Devastating because, you know, when I was a kid, I really thought that I'm a Gemelli. I was a Gemelli. But he's not my father, you know. So it really did hurt me. And now I'm thinking, do I really have a father if I really exist in this world?
As soon as I thought, I want to comfort her right now. And I knew that by writing Love, Dad, which I felt from my heart, that would give her some comfort. And that's the best thing I ever did.
It's time for Frank to meet his long-lost daughter, Marianne. He was excited but nervous.
Maybe somebody knows my father. I don't know. I've been looking for him since I was...
Leah May guided Frank in the direction of his daughter.
Because I haven't seen him, I haven't met him.
So he was in the US Air Force.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's Marianne. She's seeing me.
He missed holding his daughter's hand while she was growing up, but I believe now he will hold her heart forever.
So this was in 1973, he was there. Guys, the power of the internet can help this lady. She's been looking for him for 49 years.
There he is.
Oh, Dad. Oh, Dad.
Oh my God, these are for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I love you so much.
I've been waiting this all my life. I've been waiting this all my life. Waiting for this.
Right in
My God, that's my face. That's my eyes.
I know, it's exactly. Oh gosh, love you.
You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending.
Now, their channel is one of the most moving channels out of anything on the internet, as story after story is so well done. And they give us kind of the history of what's going on between this parent and child. Either they didn't know each other, or they weren't aware of each other, or they haven't had contact for many years. They use tools like Ancestry.com. They have a guy that helps them, that looks at family trees in great detail. They use Facebook to reach out, and they try to make connections. They'll put a post out there saying, hey, we're trying to find the father of this particular girl or the mother of this particular son. Does anybody remember in this area from these years? And it's a lot of work because they have to hunt down a bunch of leads. Some don't come together, some do, and they got to kind of put together the story. Now, many of the fathers that they connect with were actually previously in the military for the U.S. or another country, primarily the U.S., and perhaps they were stationed in Subic Bay during like the Vietnam War. And in several cases, they had a girlfriend and they fathered a child and they may not have been aware of, or they got, reposted to another place, taken back overseas. But many times they had no idea. And that's why this channel is so impactful, because there are people out there that have not met their mother or father. And there's like this innate desire to meet their birth parents, and they feel like something is missing. They somehow kind of intuitively know something's not quite right in their situation, and so they have this longing to connect with that parent. And these guys just do a great job, and these stories are emotional and exciting and sad, but really done well. So thanks for the work you guys do. I appreciate it. Okay, like I promised at the beginning of the video as we come to the close here, I want to give you a list of all of the Expat Vlogger channels that I could find. I may have missed one or two because it's really hard to search all this stuff on YouTube. I got to do it individually by channel name, so it's a lot of work. But this is going to be ranked by total views. So if this channel has more than 10 million total views for all of the videos on their channel, they'll show up on this list. So if one of your favorite channels is missing, it's likely they have not exceeded the 10 million views threshold yet, which is actually pretty difficult to hit as a milestone. And it can take several years, even for a very successful YouTube channel, to accomplish this. So it may be that your channel you're watching is on its way up, or it's newer, it's a smaller subscriber base, and it's still building. But these are in ranked order by the total number of views watched on their channel. And here you go. The Philippines isn't perfect, and neither are the expats, by the way. But it sure keeps life interesting, and I'm trying to keep track of everybody, kind of have a pulse to see what's happening. And you never know what's going to happen next in our community. Some of these channels continue to expand their audience, produce a lot of videos and good content, and others are probably struggling to keep up right now. It's just a changing landscape, and with so many new channels coming online. Well, thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed these highlights for 2025 for the expat community in the Philippines. And we'll see what 2026 has in store for both expats, vloggers, and of course, the people of the Philippines. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.